Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you the best beginner hunter build going into the Edge of Fate. Now, I recently completed the campaign and I use this build throughout, and trust me, it is one that absolutely annihilates the legendary campaign. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll be bringing out a lot of videos on Edge of Fate with the best tips and tricks, so stay tuned for them. With that said, let's jump straight into it. So we are in the practice range just to show off this build to start off with, and then I will show you some in-game gameplay of the legendary campaign where this is just absolutely shredding. But with that said, let's jump into it. So for your build, guys, now like I said, this is a beginner build, so this is one that you're going to have from the get-go, most players returning, and obviously newer players will be able to get this build pretty quick. Now, I know all the stats have changed. I will make a video in the future on all this, but if you just read them closely, you can see what they do. But to be honest, all you really need, I've got a decent build just from the old armor and a new cloak. So for your weapons, your primary, to be honest, snipers are really good. Any sniper is working at the minute, especially for the campaign, just to keep your distance. I mean, I've just put the Pradiff on, but any sniper will work, or even the Witherhoard if you guys want to change it up. Pretty much this build isn't about the weapons you're using, but there is one weapon you guys need to be using for this build to work, and that is a gun with incandescent. Now, my personal choice is no survivor. This comes with attrition orbs, incandescent, armor piercing rounds, chambered compensator. It's an absolute machine at ad clearing, especially if you pair it with the super. Now, the weapon we have got is Whisper of the Worm. This thing is absolutely doing some serious damage at the minute with the new update. Definitely one of the best heavy weapons out there in my opinion at the minute, so definitely put this on and try it. If you guys don't have the Whisper, you can change this build and use the Still Hunt. Obviously with the golden gun, it's going to work perfect as well and deal decent damage. But for me, I do prefer using the Whisper, especially when we are on those bosses. Now for your subclass, you do have a golden gun and marksman, and we are using marksman rather than deadshot. Then we have gambler's dodge, triple jump, knife trick, solar grenade, on your mark, knock 'em down. Then for the fragments, we have Ember of Ashes, Ember of Searing, Ember of Char, Ember of Mercy, and Ember of Resolve. This pretty much just synergizes everything to scorch enemies, then get your Fire Sprite, then your Solar Ignition, Spread, Scorch. Then obviously picking up a Fire Sprite grants restoration, giving you more health, and then Solar Grenades cure you. So it's an absolute beast, especially when you pair it with Incandescent, which obviously does scorch enemies in a larger radius. So it's just non-stop scorching enemies. And then like I said, you've got that Whisper for your DPS. Now stats wise, I would always recommend 100 health at the minute. Discipline, we have got 111. I mean, it is just changing as it goes. To be honest, you're not going to be bothered that much about stats, especially in a beginner build, but try to have obviously a triple 100 if you can. It's easily doable now. For me, I think the best one to run is probably your class ability, especially for this, because if we do dodge, we will get as nice back if we are near enemies, which makes this build super good to just sort of chain our dodge and melee. Then what makes this build super good is this exotic, Celestial Nighthawk. Most of you will know about it, but pretty much precision final blows reduce the cooldown of your super, modifies golden gun to fire a single high damage shot, targets defeated by that shot give you super energy and explode. Now, the amount of damage this does, it has had some nerfs in the past, but it's still one of the best sort of DPS supers. If you pair it with golden gun, obviously it deals some crazy damage. For your mods, to be honest, we're not even running that many. You can add obviously Solar Siphon, anything like that. We're just running standard mods from last season that haven't really sort of give you any bonus. You can stick some on if you guys do want, especially the solar weapons, because it is going to deal more damage. So stick them on and you'll deal even more damage right there. And for your cloak, like I said, most of you are just going to be swapping to your new items, so you're not going to be having many mods on. And to be honest, you don't even need mods with this build. It's that good. But just chuck a couple on because it does always help. You can now run triple bomber just so that we have a grenade back a lot quicker, so that we can scorch enemies. But yeah, they're the stats. Let me show you right now sort of how this is going to work. So we are in the firing range. As you can see, we have target frames. You guys can change to what you want, if you want Thrall, anything like that. So let's try it on an Acolyte. So let's just see. Look at how quickly this thing melts up close. Now these targets aren't even close, but as you can see, the scorch still affects the next target, which is some decent range on it. Now if you guys want to see DPS from the Whisper, let me chuck that on. As you can see, 3,000 a crit. Now you might be thinking that's terrible. Trust me, that is not terrible. We have been obviously knocked down power to 19. I'm a lot higher, but obviously I haven't changed that gear. So at 19 power, dealing 3,000 damage is insane. You will see that in game, how quickly that does melt. So all you have to do, let me reset these targets, and I'll show you the golden gun real quick, how much damage this does. 22k, absolutely insane. Just from one shot. So that's pretty much like 12 heavy shots, I believe, close to that, just from one golden gun shot, and you will get it back really quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this in some legendary missions right now, so you guys can see how well it performs on some high-end activities, especially even though I am underpowered. So let's jump straight into that gameplay. So we are putting the world tier on legendary just so that you guys can see. Right, so I'm going to quickly explain how to get this build rolling. You pretty much want to be chucking your nade as often as possible and throwing your throwing knives. If you dodge near an enemy, it's going to regen your throwing knives pretty quick. But if you guys are picking up these orange orbs that spawn, just look at the chain reaction on this thing. Now, like I said, we're on legendary, and this thing absolutely shreds. Once you get that solar weapon boost, it's crazy how quickly you guys can obviously get. And if you get a kill with your knife, you do in fact get it back. So if you get an enemy weak, chuck your knife, you get it back every single time. So you can just go around scorching enemies, using your knives. It's absolutely incredible. And like I said, the Whisper, I'll show you some gameplay, but that's how you want to be using your build. Dodging near enemies, chucking your knives when you can, chucking your grenade until you get your super. And then obviously your super just deals crazy damage. So hopefully you guys did enjoy today's build. I'll leave you with some good clips right now. But if you could leave a like and a comment and let me know what build you used in your legendary walkthrough, I would appreciate it. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.